Okay, so this is insane. We got another Afghan national arrested in Texas. Let's look at this.
An Afghan national now facing terroristic threat charges after he posted a video saying he was building a bomb with Fort Worth, Texas, the intended target. Christina Coleman joining us live with the latest on that story from the Southland. Christina.
Hi, Kevin. Yes, DHS spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin says just one day before the terrorist attack against the National Guard in Washington, D.C., another Afghan national who was paroled into the U.S. under Biden's Operation Allies Welcome program was arrested for threatening to blow up a building in Fort Worth. Authorities identified the suspect as Mohammed Dawood Alakoze. DHS says he's accused of posting a video of himself on TikTok indicating he was building a bomb intended for the Fort Worth area. Fox News' Brooke Taylor reports that he was arrested on Tuesday by the Texas Department of Public Safety and FBI in a coordinated law enforcement effort.
All right, so just real quick. This is so strange. It is bananas. Within days of each other, two Afghan nationals get arrested. One for actually shooting and killing a National Guard a soldier, and I don't know. We praying for the other National Guard soldier that he doesn't die. And then one just surfaces in Texas on TikTok and says he's going to blow up Fort Worth with a bomb, and they all come from that same batch by Biden. Now, I'm not being a conspiracy theorist with this. I'm trying my best not to be, but it is strange as we get closer and closer to this midterm. All of these cards are just folding to Trump's favor. I mean, he's really literally putting that hat back on. Trump told you so. I mean, really, because these guys are coming out of the woodwork. They were definitely here for the last 4 years. We know that. And I would suspect, you tell me if you think I'm off, that Trump coming to office, being as hard on immigration as he is, triggered them to come out right now in the fashion and in capacity that they're coming out. Because they know that what he's already doing with Somalian immigrants over in Minnesota, it's just going to continue to spread. And the craziest part is that they were let in by the Biden administration. There is something here. I don't know what it is, but it is just something. It's just crazy that these two things just happen randomly at the same, like within days of each other.
Koze was paroled into the U.S. in September of 2022. He had been admitted as a lawful permanent resident. Also this week, President Trump called for a reform of the country's immigration vetting process following the attack on the National Guard troops on Wednesday, which involved a suspect who was also paroled into the U.S. under Biden's Operation Allies Welcome program.
So it's definitely giving him the fuel to continue to push forward with the immigration policies that he has in place. Because it's like saying, hey, guys, I told you, they just let people in from all over. Do you know the amount of fear that people feel because of that? I mean, I thought about it. I said, damn, like, they just come out of nowhere. I'm not saying this is planned or orchestrated because I have no proof to say that, and I'm not even trying to say that. But one thing is true, which can't be hid, is that these guys did come in under the Biden administration. They actually came in under the Biden administration. The lax policy when it came to vetting these people, we're seeing it just like the border, wide open.
Look, this is how they come in. This is how they're standing on top of each other, and that's an airplane. There was no vetting or anything.
This is how they come in. That's how they come in. They're standing on top of each other. There's no vetting.
Now, DHS says about 85,000 Afghans settled into the U.S. under Biden's Welcome Allies program. Sean Van Driver, the president of Afghan evac says vetting was conducted, but again, a review of the vetting process will take place. Now, as for the suspect in Fort Worth, ICE has lodged a detainee on him, and he was charged at the state level with making a terroristic threat. Kevin?
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me.
What is very interesting about this story is that we're seeing for the second time that the news media, there was heavy coverage about Biden pulling out of Afghanistan so quick. And we did everything in the news media to point out the inconsistency, the lack of professionalism, the lack of competency when it came to him pulling out. Now, I noticed that story just went away. After he had been criticized, it was like the news cycle just flushed and it went away. Nobody said that this took place. At least it didn't get as much publication, attention as him pulling out. The attention, I guess, that he believed that he needed to take was to let everybody in real fast while he could do it for the story to go away. Well, that's the wrong thing. The story didn't go away. I think now the story is more powerful and more worse than it was when it first was here. I mean, who could imagine that this guy turned around and let in 2 Afghan sympathizers? Now, the depth of who these people are, go check out my next video, because who is this shooter for the National Guard? You'll find out that he was actually CIA level over there. Yeah, he was. No lie. Go check out the video. Like, subscribe, follow for more content. I'll see you on the next video.